With the rising popularity of unconventional sport and adventure travel, more and more people are getting outside and discovering the tranquility and joy that can be found in nature. While there are many ways to enjoy being outside, stand-up paddleboarding has exploded in popularity because of the variety of experiences the crafts open up to their riders, with relatively low consequence and little experience required. Riders can surf waves, explore difficult-to-access areas, push themselves while racing other paddlers, enjoy their favorite fitness or yoga routine, and even catch fish from their board. With the huge variety of disciplines available to discover, it's often difficult to know where to start. Recognizing this, American Canoe Association instructors Anna Levesque and Casi Rynkowski set out to create a place where women could discover the sport in a safe, supportive environment. Every year on North Carolina's Crystal Coast, the team gathers to delve into the magic that is SUP. Offered exclusively to women, the aim is not only paddling, but building relationships and discovering the strength and ability that lies within us all. Over the next week, these women will hone their stand-up paddling skills, expel self-doubt, and discover adventure. This is Camp Crystal Kai. As friends and longtime water sports instructors, Anna Levesque and Casi Rynkowski have a passion for empowering women to get outside and try something new. Founders and leaders of Camp Crystal Kai, each of the women bring a unique skill set and energy to the week on the water.
Casi is super energetic, which is great because I'm very calm. And so the two of us together really complement each other. She had the idea for the Camp Crystal Kai.
Anna and I have been teaching paddling for several years and running different camps for quite some time now. And we realized that women truly needed a place to go where they felt safe and had a supportive environment to go out there to try some of these things. I think with social media today and a lot of different television shows, women see these high-end athletes out there and they think they can never get to that level and they could never become that person. And with Camp Crystal Kai, we show them that there's a place to start and it's endless where you can go from there.
We are on the same page about empowering women and that stand-up paddleboarding doesn't have to be this hardcore racers only, surfers only sport.
A week at Camp Crystal Kai starts off always with SUP 101. Whether you're a new paddler or you're coming in with some paddling skills, we try and build upon what they're learning or they have learned.
So we want to learn in our paddling strokes, and especially I'm going to focus on the forward stroke, okay, how to engage the core to transfer that energy through the feet to the board. Imagine a boxer, so just box away, okay, and now box from the core and the follow through with the shoulders. What's more effective, you guys? Yeah, you feel it, right? Are you guys pumped or what?
We're really thinking about effective paddling to build confidence, to build better fitness, to have more fun, and to reduce the risk of injury.
I'm usually pretty able to do just about any sports, but I wanted to start exactly at ground zero so that I can learn, and Anna was so specific in making us try first on the land so we didn't go on the board, so we all felt comfortable with the movement. She came to each of us, corrected things.
And then unwind, good. Now, next thing again, and press down as you unwind.
I just felt it. I felt the movement. So when we went on the water, I felt ready. And it actually, I was ready.
They have a way about them that's just, It puts you at ease without being condescending. They really try to get to know you and they just know how to work with you to help you find that confidence. One of the refrains that they kept saying, both of them, they're very different, but they had the same refrain, was, you got this, you can do this.
My goal is to set people up for success, and going over the basics, no matter how much experience someone has, we all learn something.
Mastering the fundamentals of paddling an SUP and gaining confidence will be critical to the success of each participant in the days to come. With miles of open water ahead of them, the adventure is only just beginning.
Extending the spine, draw the shoulders back and lift the chin just slightly, not too much.
With a yoga practice extending back as far as her paddling career, Anna has developed specialized yoga classes for paddlers to effectively stretch the muscles that they use most and strengthen the muscles that they use least. With lots of paddling still to come, daily yoga classes are a key component of Camp Crystal Kai.
Yoga is important on a camp like this because we're paddling a lot, and in order to reduce the risk of injury, it's important to stretch and strengthen.
You know, it's so funny, I was so focused on the paddleboarding this week that I knew that we were doing yoga, but I didn't know how much I would enjoy the yoga in combination with the paddleboarding. Anna specifically tailored the yoga sessions to stretch us out from the paddling. Your hips get tight, and your hamstrings get tight, and your shoulders get tight. And so we did positions that I had never done before that really worked specifically on those tight muscles.
Keep pressing the outer edge of that back foot strongly into the mat. Nice, yes.
Yoga for paddling has really made a difference in my life and in my body, and so that's why I'm passionate about sharing it.
Anna's passion for sharing yoga extends beyond her land practice. As an added challenge and fully submersive nature experience, the group heads to the White Oak River to try their hand at paddleboard yoga.
The location for SUP yoga this week was amazing. Quiet, fish jumping, the birds flying, the breeze blowing gently.
I loved the stand-up paddleboard yoga. I felt like what we did during the day, that was like the main course, but the yoga, stand-up paddleboard yoga was like dessert. It was just recentering and stretching. It was wonderful. You're in the nature, and you're also trying to stay stable on your board. So you have to be in the moment in order to be successful.
That I thought was something that I wouldn't ever be able to do because I didn't have the balance, but it required for me just a little bit more focus and concentration, and perhaps I couldn't quite extend into the moves like I would normally do on land, and I loved it.
I think my favorite was the meditation at the end. You just lie there and listen to all the sounds and listen to her calming voice, and it was magical, it really was. And then to open your eyes and see where you were, the whole thing just culminating into this peaceful, amazing state of mind.
Everybody was relaxed and calm, and we thought we'd kind of continue on with a little estuary maze paddling, just to kind of continue that mellow morning. Paddling around through the maze and the grasses, coming up upon maybe a field with a farmhouse in the back, is kind of a pretty amazing thing to experience, because you don't think anything's there, and then you round a corner and then you come up and there's a beautiful field. So the setting is quite beautiful. The paddling is challenging in the mazes because there's small turnaround spots, so you are working on your skills when you're in the mazes, beyond just enjoying the environment that's there.
It was raining on us, which It didn't matter it was raining. That was the first time I got to paddle in the rain, and I loved it. We just, you gear up and you go out and you enjoy it, and it was super calm. And these marshes were like these little winding pathways. It was like a water trail, basically. We got to work on our navigation skills, our turning skills, because it was real tight. But what you get to see in an environment like that isn't typical. I'm used to putting in on lakes and big rivers and things like that, and this was just this really peaceful, just little winding birds and fish, and it was wonderful.
After getting their balance dialed and a few strokes under their belt, it's time for the biggest adventure of the week, a trip to Cape Lookout. As one of the natural barrier islands on the Atlantic coast of North Carolina, Cape Lookout is a must-see destination on the Crystal Coast and a highlight of Camp Crystal Cay. Located 11 miles southeast of Beaufort, the group catches the ferry out to the Cape for an adventure-filled day.
Cape Lookout is the cherry on top of the sundae for our week here at Camp Crystal Cay. The women all during the week, they're honing their paddling skills, their confidence. And once we get out there, they're exposed to wind, current, and ocean. And we paddle a pretty good distance too as well. It's probably more longer paddle than we've done during the week for sure.
We crossed the channel on the ocean, and all of the training they did allowed me to do it. Like, I think that was 3 miles, and I don't know that I've never done 3 miles on a stand-up paddleboard. I had some moments when I was crossing the channel where I thought, I feel like I'm on Castaway. And I just was paddling like Tom Hanks, like, keep going. I kept thinking about everything they taught us, and all of a sudden you're there.
I was paddling along with my mom, and she was saying, oh, I worry about keeping up. I need to keep up. And, really, you don't need to keep up, right? Look around, look at the water. It's beautiful. Enjoy being here. We don't have to paddle fast. We can meander. Everyone gets to go at their own pace, and it's just a really great experience.
When looking around, the first thing you'll notice is the Cape Lookout Lighthouse. With distinct diamond markings visible from miles away, the picturesque lighthouse is iconic to the area and offers one of the best views you'll find anywhere.
So on Cape Lookout sits the Diamond Lady, the lighthouse. And the black and white diamonds on the lighthouse acts as a compass for sailors, so they know which direction they're going. And we usually like to take the women up at the top because that's truly the best angle to see the entire area.
And when you walk up the lighthouse, you get to see the full view of the Hook and Shackelford Island, and then you get to see the beach on the other side from that high vantage point and the open ocean.
With views in all directions, the group can begin to get a glimpse at one of the other well-known sites in the area. Wild horses that live across from the lighthouse on the Shackelford banks.
Oh Lord, I see what brings me here. It's a mother to all my wanderings. The valley's green.
Believed to be descendants of shipwrecked Spanish Mustangs from the 16th century, more than 100 horses roam free on the island. To get a closer look, the group paddles to the island to experience their powerful beauty firsthand.
So when we paddle across the Shackelford banks, sometimes the ladies don't see the wild horses at first, and we have to go deep into the estuaries. But when we get in there and they see the horses right there on the banks, they're pretty much in awe of the scenery. It's not often that you can sit down and rest on your board and have a snack and have a herd of wild horses come on by.
It is incredible to see the horses there. They've been there for 400 years. And they've learned how to adapt to the land by digging and getting their water, and they're powerful and beautiful, and they don't even seem to notice we're there, which I really appreciated too.
When you're on the islands, they will come right by you. They're not necessarily afraid of people. So you can't pet them, you can't feed them, but they're kind of part of your experience when you're there.
I don't know the state of North Carolina, so to go out on the water to those islands, those deserted islands with no tourists around, was spectacular. It was very calming. Never mind the conditions that we paddled in, which were phenomenal, but just the scenery was spectacular.
The ladies left Cape Lookout with confidence about their paddling because you're truly plopped in the middle of Mother Nature. And you're left to take in the beauty, but you're also left to manage your board yourself, take your skills that you've learned and get where you need to go. It's probably, in my mind, the biggest and truest adventure that we offer at Camp Crystal Cai.
Even if you're getting here right now, if you can come up here, you can check in a second. We got the racer safety meeting that we're about to start.
Separating the town of Beaufort from Carrot Island, Taylor's Creek is a narrow body of water protected from the open ocean swell, making it the ideal location for a stand-up paddleboard race. To put the skills they've learned to the ultimate test, the group from Camp Crystal Cai finishes up their week at the Crystal Cai Sup Cup.
The Crystal Cai Sup Cup is the perfect venue for any beginner racer to enter in. Usually first-time paddlers or racers are shocked at the support they get during the race. We had several participants in this week's camp where the Crystal Cai Sup Cup was their goal. Racing was their goal. And they did awesome. The Crystal Cai Sup Cup offers a 4-mile short course option and a 7-mile long course option. So there's something for beginner racers and there's something for more experienced racers. There's also a youth division as well as a sprint race for kids. So there's a lot going on, a lot to do for somebody who wants to step in and join the race community.
You go out and back, so you get to pass people, the people in front of you that are coming back, and then when you're coming back, you get to see the people behind, and everyone's cheering for each other.
You've got folks who are vying for a cash purse, and they're still really fun and friendly.
I love the venue here right across from the Rachel Carson Reserve. I don't know many other races where you're paddling along and there's wild ponies halfway through the race.
It's a different venue unlike anything else out there. You're paddling right next to this quaint town with horses running on the opposite side. It's kind of like two worlds colliding together.
Keep digging, guys. Keep digging. Let's go. It's a beautiful day at the Crystal Cai Sup Cup.
I've never paddled 4 miles consistently for time, but I felt very well prepared. I ended up winning first in my division, which was really nice. I was really proud of myself, actually.
There's food, there's beer, there's community, there's laughing, there's sharing stories from the race that happened, and there are awards. Crystal Cai Sup Cup offers a pretty sizable purse, one of the few on the East Coast for sure.
It's fun, the community is great, everyone's very, very welcoming. No one's gonna make you feel like a nerd for not knowing what you're talking about. Just show up and have fun.
This past week was an amazing week for the ladies of Camp Crystal Kai. Not only did we get to see the women's skills change over a period of week, we got to see their confidence, the moment on the water when their confidence changed.
That was a big thing for me, is I wanted to do things that were outside my comfort zone. And I think it's easier to do it in an environment like this where there's no judgment.
It's a great opportunity to try something new, to put yourself out a little bit outside your comfort zone, and you'd be surprised at how confident you are.
You know, I don't want to be bound to my chair when I'm in my 70s. I want to be like Anna's mom. I want to be doing this kind of stuff when I'm in my 70s.
The accommodations were fantastic. The food, unbelievable, nutritious, delicious. And just living in a community with other women was so much fun.
I feel like I'm going to stay in touch with these folks. I feel like we're already working on, what our next paddle adventure is going to be together.
I said at the beginning of the week, I'm really committed to power through self-awareness, freedom through discipline, and adventure. And I really feel like everyone walked away with more power, more freedom, and more adventure in their lives.